you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, Wings Over has everything to cure those late night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
It's Bostic Sugg Furniture's Lazy Boy Market Sample Sell-Off. We bought out an entire showroom of 100 one-of-a-kind pieces of Lazy Boy furniture. Now we're selling it all at drastically reduced prices. Floor samples slashed an additional 50 to 70% off. This is a one-time opportunity to shop extreme sell-off prices on brand new Lazy Boy styles, recliners, power recliners, sectionals, and leather furniture, designer chairs, cocktail ottomans, and much more. Hurry! You will never, ever find Lazy Boy furniture at such low prices again at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Pirate fans, get ready. The UBE Pirate Preview is on the air on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now, live from the ECU Fan Shopping Headquarters inside University Book Exchange in Uptown Greenville, here's your host, Jeff Charles.
What a big weekend it is for ECU Pirate football. It is homecoming, it is Hall of Fame weekend, and the Memphis Tigers are in town for another night game at ECU. Under the lights at 7:30 on Saturday. The Pirates and the Memphis Tigers, always a little bit of extra juice and electricity in the air anytime the Pirates play at home at night, and that's what we're going to have on Saturday night at 7:30 between the Tigers and the Pirates. This is a game that the Pirates need to win, obviously. East Carolina is 3-3 overall, 1-2 in the American, and Memphis comes in with a record of 4-2 and 2-1 in the AAC. They had that heartbreaking loss last week, losing by 1 point to Houston, blowing a 26-point lead in that game, and then the Houston Cougars came back to beat Memphis. Meanwhile, things were not a whole lot better for the Pirates in New Orleans at Tulane last week. The Pirates lost to the Green Wave 24-9. East Carolina could not score any points in the second half, and certainly disappointment with only 9 points offensively. So here we have a couple of teams looking to bounce back and win games in the Saturday night matchup. There still are tickets available for the game. 1-800-DIAL-ECU, or you can go online at ECUPirates.com. I'll tell you what, folks, it has been great to see the crowds this year for Pirate football. Pirates are averaging right at 42,000. They're right there at the top in the AAC in attendance with UCF, and then Cincinnati is in third place in attendance. They're about 39,000. So it's been great to see all the enthusiasm back, the renewed energy for Pirate football. Coach Houston and his staff doing a great job of bringing Pirate football back this year. And a big one for the guys coming up on Saturday. If the Pirates can find a way to win this one, it's going to kind of right the ship again, get East Carolina back over the 500 mark, and get the Pirates all even in the AAC at 2-2. And then the tough part of this schedule, folks, is coming up. The Pirates will have UCF at home a week from Saturday. That, by the way, is another night game at 7:30. And then the Pirates have to go to BYU to play the nationally ranked Cougars. That's going to be a Friday night game, by the way. That will be an 8 o'clock kickoff Eastern time. That will be a 6 o'clock kickoff. As far as the Mountain Time is concerned, Provo, Utah, where BYU is located, before the Pirates come back home and take on another very talented team in Houston. So the guys have their work cut out for them. It all starts on Saturday at 7:30. This is our UBE Pirate Preview Show, our 35th year of Pirate Previews, live and direct from UBE, University Book Exchange, Uptown in Greenville. Chad will be by in just a couple of minutes. He'll tell us about all the exciting things going on at the store this weekend. Let's get you caught up on what's going on in college football. I don't know if you had a chance to see the UCF Temple game last night. I guess I say game. It really wasn't much of a game, was it? UCF beat Temple 70-13. They go down back home to Orlando and hang 70 points on the Temple Owls. And UCF, they are rolling. They were really impressive last night. I thought watching the first quarter last night, maybe Temple is a little bit better, and they hung in there for a quarter, but the floodgates opened and the Knights just absolutely blew them out of the stadium. And remember now, UCF will be in here a week from Saturday to play the Pirates with that high-powered offense. So we look forward to that one. One game last night in the Big 12, and this was a shootout. West Virginia beat Baylor 43-40. A field goal win for West Virginia in that one. One AAC game on Friday night. Navy will be at SMU at 7:30. Navy really got their offense cranked up last week. They scored 56 points in their last matchup. So it looks like maybe that triple option is starting to come along for Coach Ken Niumatalolo and the Navy midshipmen. Here's what's going on in the AAC and tomorrow's action. Only one other game in addition to East Carolina's contest with Tulane at USF. That's the only other game tomorrow in league play. That's going to be a 4 o'clock kickoff in Tampa. Really rare that here we are in mid-October and a conference schedule only sees 2 games in the conference on a particular Saturday. But that's what we're having because we've had 2 games this week in AAC play. And then there are 3 teams in the league who have an open date this weekend. So it's ECU and Memphis on Saturday. One other game on Saturday. We'll find Tulane at USF. Impressed with Tulane. If they win this game against USF, they'll go to 6-1. So the Green Wave having a really good year under Willie Fritz. And after watching them last week, they are a good, solid football team. ACC action coming up on Saturday. At 12:30, things will get underway in the league. Virginia Tech struggling at 2-4. They will be home. They will host Miami. Miami's 2-3. The 3:30 game in the ACC, and this one is the big one of the day. Number 15, North Carolina State, 5-1. They will be at number 18, Syracuse, undefeated at 5-0. Dino Babers has really brought the Syracuse program back. That's a 3:30 kickoff. Then at 7:30. Night game, number 4, Clemson, will be at Florida State. Another good matchup there. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, it'll be North Carolina at Duke on Saturday. North Carolina is 5-1. Duke is 4-2. And so there's a little juice for that game. Oftentimes there's not, but Duke is doing a really nice job this year at 4-2 as they have North Carolina coming in to Durham. Other games of interest in the state. Charlotte will be at UAB at 12:30 on Saturday. Western Carolina will be at Furman at 2 o'clock on Saturday in the Southern Conference. Appalachian State has the weekend off. Elon's having a good year. They're 5-1, and they will be at Rhode Island, and that is a 1 o'clock kickoff to see if Elon can continue to have a good year. Some more big games as far as the conference is concerned and games across the country, ranked teams, and we'll take a look at that a little bit later on in the show. This is our UBE Pirate Preview Show, and when we come back, we'll see what's going on in the store this weekend. As UBE is getting all ready for homecoming and Hall of Fame weekend. It's a big weekend in Greenville, a big weekend at UBE, and we'll find out about all the great stuff going on after this timeout. UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Are you ready for some football, Pirate Nation? Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times this football season, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Get ready to have fun this season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood.
Jeff, how's the service department?
Service is going great. Like I told you before, 2022 is the year of the customer. We've been voted #1 dealership in Greenville for 3 years in a row, and there's a reason why. For service, we still offer free pickup and drop-off, so we're trying to make it super convenient for the customer. And right now, our customers are repairing their vehicles more than ever.
How can people make a service appointment?
They can go to brownwood.net or dial 355-6080.
Do you have an old injury or just some pain that keeps holding you back? It's time for you to get better. With Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we can help you get your life back. Whether you need to get back to a sport, back in the gym, or just back to enjoying life, our team of specialists use a one-on-one, hands-on approach in our state-of-the-art facility to get you back moving again. Don't settle for where you are. Don't stay in pain. Visit kptonline.com today to see how Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers. This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the UBE Pirate Preview on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now back to the show. Here's Jeff Charles.
And here we are, UBE Pirate Preview. Big weekend in Greenville on Saturday. The Memphis Tigers will be here to take on the Pirates. Remember now, it's a 7:30 kickoff. 7:30 kickoff. A lot of excitement around Greenville, a lot of excitement on campus, and a lot of excitement here at UBE, uptown in Greenville. Of course, our gracious host for many, many years, going back actually 35 years with our Pirate Preview show. Don Edwards, the owner and proprietor of UBE, had a previous engagement, but we have with us, and we're always glad to visit with Chad Thompson, Don's right-hand man. And Chad is with us talking a little bit about what's going on in the store this weekend. Chad, how you doing?
Doing great, Jeff. How are you, buddy?
I am doing great. I'll tell you what, it's been a lot of fun coming into UBE and doing our shows this year. What's it been like from your perspective, Chad, as far as the increased enthusiasm and energy and seeing that Pirate faithful come back?
Well, it's been great. It's something we've missed for the past few years. I'm just, we're extremely happy to have everybody back in the store. The turnout we have in the stadium is great, and it's definitely reflected in, the business we have in the store, especially on game days, game day weekends, and we're just really appreciative of the Pirate Nation to, be back at it, and we're really excited.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The Pirate faithful has come back in numbers this year. There's no question, and I always say, when I come into UBE, I can usually judge what kind of a crowd the Pirates are going to have for a home football game with what kind of a crowd is in UBE. And, Chad, you know this. You've been at the store for a number of years and certainly been around Pirate athletics now for a long time. It's great to see the atmosphere come back. It's great to see the Pirate Nation come back. And I've always said if you give them a product, they're going to come out and support it. And what they really like to support are some of these throwback uniforms and some of these throwback helmets that ECU has been displaying this year. So tell us a little bit about that and how that affects UBE's business.
It's been great. The Vault collection has, really turned out great this year. Everybody loves these vintage marks. And when you get to, when the reins are pulled back and licensing lets us produce this product, it really, provides an uptick in business and excitement. And we received a new mini helmet of the helmet that they're going to wear tomorrow on the field. It's gorgeous. It's got the pirate script on it. It's got the purple and gold trim on it, and gold face mask. It's a really great looking little mini helmet, and we have them at the store now, and they're $34.99. We put them out probably about an hour ago is when we received them, and as we were putting them out, people were just starting to grab them as fast as we could put it out. So
going like hotcakes, huh?
Yeah, it's great to have the excitement around it. We've had a great partnership with CLC. They're the Collegiate Licensing Corporation. They've come in and provided fixturing, wall graphics, and really helped us out with this vault launch, and people have been really excited.
Chad, when I came here in 1988, the Pirates were still wearing these pirate script helmets. And I can remember watching East Carolina on television the few times the Pirates were on television, for instance, like in the mid-'80s. And I always thought that was a great look, the pirate script. I've always loved it. Now, they got away from it. I can still remember the day I was walking into my office, and I saw Dave Hart, who was then the athletic director, walking over to Bill Lewis's office, which was in Scales at the time, and Bill Lewis was the head football coach of the Pirates. And Dave Hart had the pirate script helmet in his hands. And I stopped him outside the building and just started making conversation with him. And he said, Bill wants to change the helmets. He wants to go with the ECU on the helmet and just give the program a new look. And Dave said at the time, but I'm against it. We're going to stay with the pirate script. Well, I guess Bill Lewis was very influential with Dave, because the next thing I knew, the Pirates were wearing the helmet that said ECU on it, and not Pirates in script. But I've always loved the pirate script. So I'm glad to hear you say, Chad, that people are gobbling up these helmets and this look, because I've always just thought it's a really great look.
It is. It's really clean. It's fresh. And they did put the little ECU on the tab on the front of the helmet. So, there's a lot of little bells and whistles with the helmet that it really turned out nice. They did a great job with it.
Yeah, they really did. What about white helmets as far as the Pirate faithful? Can you judge whether they like white helmets or not?
I mean, I hear it and I understand it. With sports, there's always a superstitious side, tied to it. I honestly believe it's not the helmets, it's who's in the helmets. But people are gonna, have their opinion about it. And
yeah, I've heard that too, Chad. I mean, I hear people saying, my gosh, I hope they don't wear those white helmets. They always lose when they wear those white helmets. I'm just particularly not a big white helmet guy, but I'm sure people are, and they like that kind of look. But I don't pay that much attention to the uniforms. I pay attention to whether or not the Pirates are playing well or not. But for a lot of folks, that's a big deal, and it's a fun thing to talk about all week leading into the game, what kind of uniform the Pirates are going to wear this particular week.
Well, we could always look at it this way. This is a different white helmet. That's not the white helmet with the Jolly Roger. This is the throwback kind of Peach Bowl looking helmet. So hopefully that'll change the look and the opinion as far as the white uniforms and the white color combinations.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the store this weekend, Chad, other than some of the throwback and vintage marks, as you like to say. What else is going on in the store?
Well, first we'll run over the hours. We're open until 6 o'clock on Friday. It's our typical game day weekend hours. Saturday we're open 9 to 6, and then on Sunday we're open 10 to 5. It's the painted purple themed game this weekend, and as always we have plenty of purple merchandise, especially the crews, the hoodies, the outerwear, because it is starting to getting a little chilly in these night games. It's going to cool off a bit. As always on game day Saturdays we have our game day buttons while supplies last, and we are having a book signing from 10:30 to 1. Donna Bunting Flake is a local artist, and she's going to be in the store. The Haunted Life of Laura is the name of her novel. It's locally inspired, and she'll be in the store tomorrow, and she'll be glad to be signed the autographs, and you can pick up the books actually in the store.
Okay, sounds good. And what time will she be there on Saturday?
She'll be there from 10:30 to 1.
10:30 to 1 on Saturday. Chad, anything else going on? Any other specials or anything else that you'd like to bring the Pirate faithful up to speed on?
Just want to mention our website, pirateware.com. We have a lot of great people in the store working on the website, and pirateware.com is open 24 hours. A lot of products being added daily. We have a lot of great help at the store, and just wanted to mention that because you always have those Pirate fans who can't really get to Greenville, but we'll be glad to ship it to them every day.
Yeah, no doubt. Hall of Fame weekend, and of course it's also homecoming weekend. Chad, those are always big events for ECU. And Parents Weekend for you guys. might be the biggest of all the weekends the Pirates have.
It is definitely the largest bump in volume we see as far as sales. When the parents come to town, the kids bring the parents have the wallets, and that's, really provides a big bump for us, and we always have a great parents weekend.
We were visiting before we went on the air, and I think folks might find this interesting to kind of go behind the scenes a little bit and tell folks what you do. But as we know, here in the last 2-3 years, and with COVID and everything else that we've had to deal with, there are supply chain issues, and things don't always go as smoothly as everyone would like. And I know, Chad, you have been affected by that. UBE has been affected by that. So tell us a little bit about the last few months and what it's been like for you.
Just kind of like what we were talking about earlier. To give an example, the way we book out our orders, we have to order these items way in advance. So let's say a particular company like Champion Athletic. It's a very popular brand. We have booking deadlines, that end in, say February 31st, we had to have our orders in. So I usually do an order for like a 7/1 shipment, which is a July 1st shipment, and then I'll do a backup for August 25th, in time enough to have it for the first football game. And then say I'll do another order for like October 1st, just to kind of keep it, going. And these would be 3 separate orders for the same product. Say it's a polo. And this year, for example, I received this week my 7/1 shipment, my 8/25 shipment, and then my October 1st shipment, all on the same day.
Amazing.
All 3 shipments came in, and, needless to say, I was expecting my first shipment way back in July, and then my second shipment was supposed to be, and that just creates just a bottleneck of inventory. Our stock rooms right now are so full of items that, we really need the Pirates to win, because
this is merchandise, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it is finally starting to come in, and it's rolling in, and, we are lucky enough to have the fans that we have, and the product that is coming in is really great looking, and it's fresh. And it's just really something that it provides a little bit of a headache, but we're excited about it at the same time.
Absolutely. You still have a Jeff Charles bobblehead or two over there?
Yeah, we got a few of them. Come on in. We'll cut you a deal on one.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to cut a deal on them for sure. Hey, Chad, thanks so much. Repeat your hours this weekend one more time.
We are open 9 to 6 on Saturday and 10 to 5 on Sunday.
Sounds really good. Chad, thanks a lot for pinch hitting for Don, and enjoy the weekend.
Those are some big shoes to fill, but you got it. Thank you, Jeff.
No, you did a great job, and we always enjoy seeing you. That's Chad Thompson. He is from UBE. When we come back, we're going to take another look at college football, what's going on around the country. This is our UBE Pirate Preview Show.
Take a hit from a 300-pound linebacker, and you better be wearing pads. Take a hit on the road, and you better have good auto coverage. When you've got North Carolina Farm Bureau Auto Insurance, you've got the best local agents ready to help you bounce back. If you don't, well, you'll probably play football without a helmet, too. In Pitt County, call Brandon Manning or Randy Daniels at 252-756-3007. North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina Incorporated. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit GreenvilleAutoWorld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At U.S. Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night, along with football. Monday is open mic night, the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
Being a part of the program, being a student athlete at ECU, they are going to be very much in the spotlight.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the UBE Pirate Preview on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now back to the show. Here's Jeff Charles.
That is exactly who we are, the UBE Pirate Preview Show in our 35th year, and really excited about this weekend because so much is going on. Greenville's a beehive of activity, has been really since about midweek. When you think about the homecoming festivities and you think about the Hall of Fame on Friday night banquet and the Hall of Famers, the new ones will be introduced at halftime of the game on Saturday when the Pirates take on Memphis. So it's a really exciting time, and hopefully the Pirate football team can add to that excitement with a victory coming up on Saturday with the Memphis Tigers in town. You know, when you get to mid-October, there usually are some big games nationally and obviously some big games in conference play. You go through September, the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and you know how it is. It's a lot of warm-up games and a lot of games that don't have a whole lot of national significance. But you get to this point of the season, and things do drastically change. For instance, in the Big Ten, it will be number 10, Penn State, at number 5, Michigan tomorrow. That is a big game not only in conference play but also nationally, as is this one. Number 3, Alabama, at number 6, Tennessee. You think they'll be jumping in Knoxville for that game tomorrow? Alabama's had some near misses, and you know what those Tennessee folks are thinking? We're going to get them this year. We'll have to wait and see if Nick Saban can continue to work his magic. And then number 8, Oklahoma State, will be at number 13, TCU. That's another game nationally that is a very important game. Number 16, Mississippi State, at number 22, UK, at Kentucky. Another big game nationally. And if you're catching my drift, these games in the SEC are really important games this week. And then Lincoln Riley, number 7, USC, will be at number 20, Utah. That's another really good matchup out west in the Pac-12. So some big games nationally this week. No question to kind of watch the scoreboards and see what's going on. Other games that are really big games this time of year, Major League Baseball. And on Friday, the Guardians are at the Yankees at 107. Now, that series had a postponement yesterday, so it's only going to be Game 2 in the series. And the Yankees have the 1-0 lead in the series. That's a 107 game on Friday. The Guardians and the Yankees in New York. Braves and Phillies at 4:37 on Friday. That series is really a good one. Philadelphia, you got to give them credit. They've gotten the split so far. They go back home to Philly. All knotted up now at a game apiece. I wouldn't be surprised to see that series go 5 games. The Dodgers will be at the Padres. That is a night game on Friday night. And that game series is all tied up, too, at a game apiece. So some really good National League Division Series matchups and American League Division Series matchups on the agenda for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we get a little bit closer to the AL and NL Championship Series, and then, of course, the World Series as well. So we'll see if the Guardians can bounce back, and we'll see who will take a leg up in the Braves and Phillies series, and also in the Dodgers and Padres series as well. ECU and Memphis, that game is a 7:30 Saturday night game. Only one other game in the American Athletic Conference on Saturday. Tulane will be at USF in that one. 3 teams in the league have the day off, and earlier this week there were some games, including the UCF Temple game, 70-13 UCF with a victory in Orlando, and Navy and SMU on Friday night play at 7:30. And that UCF team, folks, they are scary. Watching that game on Thursday night, they just almost at will went up and down the field against Temple. And I know Temple is Temple, and they're trying to rebuild again with Stan Drayton as the first-year head coach. But still, UCF was incredibly impressive. And just like has been the case in the last number of years, they just have such great overall team speed on that football team. And they were really impressive last night. And how about the second-string quarterback that they brought in, a young man by the name of Castellanos, who is from Waycross, Georgia. He's just a freshman, and he looked terrific. So he's going to be a nightmare moving forward when UCF goes into the Big 12 for Big 12 teams, it looks like, to try and stop and compete against. And John Rice Plumlee, the quarterback now at UCF, who, by the way, is a native of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and started his career at Ole Miss both as a football and a baseball player, has been impressive this year as the quarterback for the Knights. And he's another dual-threat quarterback. You know, there are so many dual-threat quarterbacks in this league, and we're going to talk to Blake Harrell, ECU's defensive coordinator, in just a few minutes about that. But we have seen so many of them this year. Michael Pratt at Tulane, a lot of folks, I think, underestimate his wheels and his running ability. But he is that type of quarterback. We saw at Tulane. Coming up this week, we're going to see another one in Seth Hennigan at Memphis. And then coming up next week when UCF is in town, John Rice Plumlee is cut out of that same mold. So right now in the American, there are some really good quarterbacks who are both run threat guys, dual type quarterbacks who can run it and who also can throw it very well. And so every week for these defensive coordinators, and I'm always joking with Blake Harrell, ECU's defensive coordinator, and telling him he's got one of the toughest gigs in America trying to stop these high-powered American offenses. That's going to be the case again when the Pirates take on Memphis. And the way it's been here lately, it's almost been the case every time the Pirates go out on the field to take on one of these American teams. Well, when we come back, we've got a good second half all planned for you on our weekend, as the Pirates are home this weekend on homecoming weekend and also Hall of Fame weekend. We're going to visit with Donnie Kirkpatrick. He is ECU's offensive coordinator. Blake Harrell, ECU's defensive coordinator, will also join us in the second half hour of our UBE Pirate Preview show. When we come back, we will visit with Blake Harrell, the defensive coordinator of the Pirates. We'll talk with him about all these dual-threat quarterbacks in the American this year and get the game plan for the Pirates as they go up against the Memphis Tigers. Back with Coach Harrell right after this.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
This is Braxton Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. If you're looking to purchase a home, it is still a great time, and being pre-qualified before you begin shopping is an advantage. At Angel Oak, we offer a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans that can fit most financial situations. To get started, contact our experienced team of Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, Wanda Hager, or myself, Braxton Green, at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Beauty Bar Medispa wants to know if you are ready to fall into beauty. October 7th through the 14th. All services and products will be on sale. Botox, filler, painless laser hair removal, facials, RF microneedling, rejuvenating laser treatments to treat brown spots, wrinkles, texture, veins, and skin tightening. And now, the only facility in the area to offer non-surgical under-eye fat pad treatments. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's Barbecue since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's Barbecue. So whether you bring the team like me or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's Barbecue, where they always treat you like family.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defensive coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the UBE Pirate Preview on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now back to the show. Here's Jeff Charles.
Visit now with ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell. And Coach, let's start with Seth Hennigan. His numbers are off the charts, both throwing the football and running the ball. He is another guy like so many in this league. He's a dual threat, isn't he?
No doubt. He's, our league is full of a lot of good quarterbacks, and he is one of them. He's threw 10 touchdowns this year with only one interception on the season. He is actually the team's leading rusher if you take the sacks out and just take his positive yards. So he's a kid that's played a lot of football. Started as a freshman last year from the state of Texas, and did a really good job of leading them some wins last year and this season so far, and does a really good job just operating the offense over there. So, he's a headsy kid, got a strong arm, but you get things covered up in the back end, and he can take off on you, so you got to be accountable for that. And he's a good player. We're excited to go against him and see if we can hold him down and keep him under control there.
Coach, it looks like it's kind of running back by committee. They have three guys that rotate in and out.
They do, and all three are experienced players. Guys that we saw a year ago that have played well for them. And Thomas has the most carries and kind of their workhorse, so to speak, bigger back, downhill guy. But I think Ducker and Martin are just as productive in their yards. So, they'll roll those guys in and out, keep them fresh, make sure you're accountable back there in the run game for them. And I think they want to be a run football team first. I think in our breakdown, somewhere around 60-40 run to pass. Just fit the RPOs. We count those as runs, but and those three backs will make you stay sound in the run game. So you can't be a hat short in there, or you'll be giving up big plays in the run game. So we got to make sure we do a good job with that.
Coach, I've watched Memphis football for many, many years. They always have athletes. They always have speed. I thought during their heyday 3 or 4 years ago, they were right there with UCF as far as overall team speed in this league is concerned. How about offensively for them this year?
Yeah, they certainly got some speed. I mean, you turn on the Navy film, and they hit Navy down the field for a few big plays. I think Ivory is one of those guys. Skates is another one, number 11. And Lewis, 18, is certainly. Maybe the best one that has the most catches is Rogers. So all those guys can run. Really athletic out there, do a good job. The tight end's a guy that, you see some tight ends, all they are is blockers, or maybe they all are as pass catchers. He's both, and he can block you in the run game and get out in the pass game and catch some footballs. And I think he has about 30 targets on a year. So all are good weapons out there, and they're certainly very talented.
Their offensive line, Coach, give us a scouting report on their O-line.
Yeah, I think their center is good. A really good player. I think right tackle is a really good player. Right guard's I would call him a nasty player. Like, he's going to play hard-nosed, tough football and get after you, do a good job there. Left guard, they've had a little injury right there, so I don't know if the starter will be back, Gamble, or if it'll still be Alfred there. The left tackle was out, but Austin Myers is back, so they're at full force there.
Coach, going back to last week, your evaluation of how your defense played against Tulane.
I thought we did some good things, especially in the run game. I think they had 150 yards rushing. We had 5 sacks, which is season high for us, and had a bunch of hits on the quarterback. Which every time I'd see Pratt get knocked down, I was maybe had my fingers crossed a little bit. They wouldn't get up for a few minutes, but thought we got some good hits on him and good pressures on him. I think 2 areas we got to improve on this week. One is third down, especially third and long situations, and that's where a year ago we were exceptionally good. And we got to do a better job there, and I think that's going to keep a bunch of yards and points off the board, first of all. And then second of all is just the big play down the field. I mean, if we don't give up the big chunk of explosive play and keep them out of explosives, then that's going to keep points off the board as well. So, if we can do those things, I think we can keep points off the board and give ourselves a chance to win.
Coach, I was going to ask you about the third and longs. As you analyze that situation, what do you see?
Well, first thing we've done in practice is put ourselves in more of those situations. Usually you're working north third and mediums, third and threes, third and 5, 6s, because that's what you're going to get into a lot of times. But we found ourselves in a lot of third and 10s, and we're not executing. So, and we just kind of maybe simplify some things that we do. That way we get really good at what we do, and whether it's bringing pressure or dropping or whatever it may be. So making sure our kids feel really comfortable with it, make sure we feel really comfortable with it, making a smaller menu. So anytime that you have some a breakdown, so to speak, or a miscue, you want to go back and kind of pull the thumb and say, hey, what can we do better to put our kids in better situations? And right now that's simplifying the menu for us and making sure that, hey, we've ran this couple of calls over and over and over all week long, and as well as repping it more. So really excited about it this week. Feel really good about it, and our players are excited about the plan this week.
Coach, let's look at a key or two in this one. I guess it has to start with Hannigan, the quarterback. You got to keep him in check.
You do, and I think that it all starts with the run game for us, and part of the run game for us is the RPO game. So Hannigan's numbers are going to be, him throwing the ball, but that's part of it. I say that's a triple option offense. You got the dive, you got the quarterback, you got the pitch where you can throw the RPO out there. So we got to take care of that first, and then once we get that taken care of, and put them in drop back situations, we got to make sure we count for Hannigan in all categories there, run game, scrambling game, whatever it may be, and put pressure on him, make him force a bad ball. I think we were able to pick him off last year, and a turnover right now would be huge for us, so we got to create some of those. And, then get off the field on third down, and that would be a key for us.
That's ECU Defensive Coordinator Blake Harrell. Always great to visit with Blake, and what an outstanding job he's done with the Pirate defense. I really enjoy visiting with Blake each and every week. He's not only a good coach, he's a good dude. A really nice guy who works extremely hard, and certainly the fruits of his labor have paid off with his defense since he has been here. East Carolina's only given up 21.2 points per game in this day and age of college football. That is very, very good. Now they're heading into the gauntlet with some of these offenses yet to come, so we'll see what those figures look like at the end of the season when you're playing the UCFs and the Houstons and the BYUs of the world. Still yet to play on this schedule, but I'll tell you, this year so far, you give up 21 points a game. You should win your share of football games, and that's what the Pirates have been doing. Opponents only 388 yards per game. Now, what has been the Achilles heel of this defense has been pass defense. Pirates have done a really good job against the run all year long. They've only given up 114 yards per game on the ground. Now, passing has been a little bit of a different issue. They are giving up 257 yards per game through the air, and they want to certainly do better in that area. Getting off the field pretty well. Now, this third down completion percentage is going up just a little bit as the season goes on. They're at 35%, which is okay. They'd like to have it down around 30%, but 35% is what they're giving up now on third down. So, the defense has done a good job. They've given, they've had 7 takeaways so far this year. They've had 4 fumble recoveries and 3 interceptions. And then last week, it was really good to see the Pirates make some sacks against Tulane and against Michael Pratt. And they now have 13 sacks on the year. That's been a stat that needs some improving. A little bit better pass rush, a little bit better pressure on the quarterback, and some more sacks. Well, they got that done last week. The pressure was good, and they're pretty good now as far as that national statistic is concerned in sacks. So, again, a good, steady effort this year. Certainly always room to improve, and we'll see what they can do against Seth Hennigan and company tomorrow. Hennigan's stats, the Memphis quarterback, his touchdown to interception ratio is terrific. He's thrown 10 touchdowns and only 1 interception. He's right at 64% through the air, which is good. And he's thrown for 1,517 yards. Now, those are the passing stats. And then you look at what he's been able to do with his feet. 171 yards rushing, only 2.6-yard average, but he runs the ball a lot. He's run for 2 touchdowns. His longest run has been of 30 yards. So they use him a lot to run the ball. And then, of course, he throws the ball very accurately. He's a good team leader. He's a young man who came out of Denton, Texas, the home of the North Texas Mean Green. They will be in the AAC as an opponent of the Pirates, a conference opponent coming up next year. So Hennigan decided to leave Denton and come to Memphis, and he's been a really good quarterback for them. And as Blake said, last year the Pirates got a chance to see him play and got a pick against him last year. So we'll see what they are going to do this year. Now, what they do offensively in running the football, they kind of do it by committee. They have 3 different running backs who they rotate in and out, and these guys all have similar stats. Brandon Thomas gets quite a few carries. He has 230 yards, but listen to how closely they divide up the carries and the stats. Thomas has 230 yards rushing. Javon Ducker has 225 yards rushing, and Asa Martin, 223 yards rushing. So they've been pretty equal as far as the carries are concerned, and the production from their 3 backs, and you will see 3 backs on Saturday run the football against the Pirates. It's all been relatively almost the same. Now, they bring different skill sets to the table, but their production has been just about the same. Memphis always has some good receivers, and again, there's not like 1 or 2 that stand above the rest. They have a lot of guys who catch passes. The leading pass catcher on the team is Gabriel Rogers, who's got really good speed. He has 22 catches, but then they have a bunch of other guys right around 20 catches, and the tight end, as Blake mentioned, is really a good player. He has 21 catches, and for the tight end, they really get him involved as a part of their passing game. So, again, some good weapons for Memphis. Their offensive line is pretty good. Left tackle, Austin Meyer, second team all AAC, 6'5", 300-pound senior from Houston. He's played a lot of football for Memphis at that left tackle spot. The center's a good player, Jacob Likes. So they've got weapons, and everybody in this league does. That's why it's so difficult each and every week to stop these offenses. And Memphis is a football team that will bring a good offense in here. And we saw that, of course, previous games when we've had a chance to watch them on television. For instance, they are averaging 34 points a game. The Pirates are at 30.8. Memphis averaging 34 points per game and 408 total yards per game. So they can move the ball up and down the field and score points. You just have to hope Pirate defense, which has been good this year, can put a little bit of a stop and get some stops on defense and give Holt Nailers and company a chance to put some points on the board themselves. When we come back, we are going to visit with Donnie Kirkpatrick. He is ECU's offensive coordinator. We'll see what Memphis offers on defense and see what Donnie's thinking about cooking up an offensive game plan to go against the Memphis Tigers. 7:30 on Saturday. Back with the Pirate OC right after this.
Christie's Europub is the perfect place to relax, grab a bite, and enjoy a drink. Located in the heart of Greenville and just a few blocks from ECU's campus, Christie's offers lunch, dinner, and late night with live music every Sunday. Come and have brunch Monday through Friday from 11 to 3 or Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4. Scratch cooking takes time, so relax and enjoy a pint at Christie's Europub today. For the latest information, check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit them online at christieseuropub.com.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at ArcPoint Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust ArcPoint Labs to give you quick and accurate results for your laboratory testing needs. ArcPoint Labs provides insights and solutions to enable individuals, businesses, and communities to make informed decisions on their health, safety, and well-being. Visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or go to arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate fans, this is head coach Mike Houston. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been taking care of our athletes here at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or if it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the folks who have been taking care of me and many of our fans in Pirate Nation or visit them online at orthopedicseast.com. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Lang with Carolina Hardscapes, and we're excited to announce that we're Eastern North Carolina's premier fiberglass pool installation company. We partnered with industry-leading San Juan Pools so that we can build the backyard of your dreams. Whether it's an outdoor fireplace, patio, outdoor kitchen, or now a pool, give us a call at 364-1201 or find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com so we can make your backyard the place to be. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for just $2.99. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Pirate Radio.
We have a standard for the way you're going to play, and we're going to start making sure that we point out those that are meeting the standard, and everybody else has to rise to that. You have to. There is no choice. You have to rise to the standard, because the standard is what wins.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the UBE Pirate Preview on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now back to the show. Here's Jeff Charles.
Visit now with ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick. And, Coach, let's talk about this Memphis defense. And the thing that jumps off the page at you, they have 9 interceptions. So how have they been able to do that?
You know, the secondary is just very sound. They play a lot of good coverages. They mix some man in there, but they get pressure on the quarterback. And they don't have a lot of sacks, but they do a great job of driving the pocket back into the quarterback's lap. They do a great job of getting their hands up and making you throw over it. There's been some tip balls. And then the secondary is just really quick and athletic, and they break on the ball. And they also have some fumbles, you know, that they've had takeaways too. So that's obviously something we got to really do a great job of protecting the ball this week.
Yeah, no doubt about that, because they're +9 in turnover margin. Coach, let's talk about that defensive line. A pretty big defensive line for Memphis standards.
They're really big, you know. Inside, the guy 360, you know, he looks like he's every bit of it, you know what I'm saying, 6'6". Other guys are all 6'4", 6'3". They're long-armed guys, and that's why I say they do a great job of getting their hands up. You have to throw over them. You know, it's like throwing out of a forest out there like that, too. And so, you know, they're one of the top run defenses in our league, really in the country, too. So it's a challenge.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, Coach, when you think about Memphis, you usually think about athletes and guys who can run and really speed and athleticism. I think during their heyday, they were kind of right there with UCF as far as overall team speed in this league is concerned. Are they still very athletic on defense?
Well, you know, I think at linebacker they're especially that way. The defensive ends are that way, and obviously I think the secondary runs well too. So they're big and physical, though, and they're long. They're just really playing good defense right now. Like you say, they're taking the ball away. They're really making people drive the ball. But because nobody's really been able to run the ball, they've been able to put you in long yardage situations. That's passing, obvious passing situations. Then you can junk up, do all the defenses, and that's where they can get you in trouble.
Coach, last week 9 points. I know that's not where you want to be. So as you turned on the tape, what did you see from last week?
Well, yeah, 9 points is not what we'd like to have in a quarter, much less in an entire game. And what we saw was just we got off to a great start, moving the ball, had a couple of missed plays, missed block here, guy fell down here a little bit, then, still scored twice in the first 3 possessions, only had a 5-possession half there. One of them was a 2-minute offense. We missed the field goal at the end. Still at halftime, a 14-9 score, still knew it would be a tough game, thought everything's okay. We're still playing pretty well. Second half, had a great opportunity to score through an interception in the end zone. We had a receiver open. We let them score. I think our team just kind of got deflated. Just we were a little disappointed in that we didn't fight harder like that in that situation. And then it turned into a deal where we were down 15 points. It turned into an all-throw. They played way back coverage, made you dump the ball out. We were patient up to a point. We kept getting in that fringe right before the red zone officially and just never could score the points. So had too many busts, too many missed blocks, just not enough energy there, I thought, in the second half.
Coach, I thought that first quarter, this offense, the tempo moved as fast, if not faster, than I've seen all year long. Tell us about that, and then how on into the second quarter, the second half, didn't play with the same tempo.
Yeah, we tried to play fast, and that was one of the things we were going to try to do. We knew they'd be ball control, which is what I think their plan was. They threw more late than they did early, and I don't know. It was a hot day, turf maybe, the humidity of New Orleans, not to make excuses or whatever, but I just thought we kind of gave out, and we just really weren't sure what happened there to us, but really, really just disappointed in our whole performance, coaching staff, all the way down to everything. Hopefully we'll be a little bit better this weekend.
So I guess, Coach, this week things should have been pretty intense in practice, kind of looking to atone for what happened last week.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Sunday was a pretty quiet day. A lot of people, really, really low and disappointed. But either way, you win, you lose, you have to put that one behind you. You have to move on. You count the wins and losses up at the end of the year. So went back to work, Sunday afternoon, really hard on Tuesday and Wednesday. I thought the kids responded to that. We got to get our confidence back up a little bit. They're fragile. Guys that age are just so fragile. They listen to the talk a little bit. I think maybe everybody told them how good they were one week. Now they're hearing how bad they are. Hopefully that will inspire them a little bit more. But that's the nature of the beast. We know that. That's what it's all about, and that's what makes it so fun.
So, Coach, final question for you. What we have to do to move the ball against this Memphis defense and score some points this week?
Well, even though they're so good against the run, we're not going to be able to just get into an all-throw situation again because that's what they want you to do. Then they can play the 2 deeps and the 2 Tampa coverages and all the exotics, and they can get the pass rush going, and that's how they get the turnovers. And then their offense feeds off of that because they're a big play offense. So we're going to have to find a way to keep running the ball and then take what they give us in the passing game, and we'll get the matchups if we can run the ball.
Sounds great. That's Donnie Kirkpatrick, ECU Offensive Coordinator. Hey, we thank Donnie for dropping by and visiting with us when you go to the game, 7:30 kickoff time on Saturday night, or you're listening to the game on the radio. You're going to hear me call out the names of a couple of guys on Memphis's defense. If you're at the game watching the game in person, watch for number 8. He is Xavier Cullens. He is a senior linebacker, second-team All-AAC. He is their leading tackler with 47 tackles. He also has 2 interceptions, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 fumble recoveries. So he does a little bit of everything for this football team. And then in the secondary, watch out for number 15, Quindell Johnson. He is also a senior. He's out of New Orleans. He has 3 picks. 3 picks, number 15, and 1 fumble recovery. And as we mentioned early on, this is a defense at Memphis that has 9 picks. They have 9 interceptions, and their turnover margin is terrific. They are +9 in turnover margin. So ball security going to be very important for the Pirates in this game. They cannot afford to turn the ball over 3 or 4 times against this Memphis defense and expect to come out victorious in this game. So, again, those are 2 of the headliners on this team. They have a lot of guys that make tackles. They have a lot of guys that make interceptions. And so it's a defense that certainly presents its share of challenges for Holton Nailers and company. Holton will be in his 44th start as the Pirate quarterback on the game this weekend, and he is number one all-time now in yards. He has thrown for 12,039 yards. That's number one all-time. He also has run for 20 touchdowns in his ECU career, and he's thrown for 85 touchdowns in his ECU career. And what has been, I think, the best positive to the season for Holton has been his completion percentage. Every year he's been here, his completion percentage continues to inch up. And going into the Memphis game, he's now at 67.3%. That's better than Seth Hennigan, the Memphis quarterback. Holton will enter the game 152 of 226. That's 67.3%. He's thrown for 1,820 yards. Hennigan's thrown for 1,517. So you can see Holton has the advantage there. He's thrown 6 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 picks. Holton has run for 98 yards and a touchdown this year and a long run of 20 yards. Hey, it was great, by the way, to see Isaiah Winstead just this week named to the Fred Biletnikoff Award watch list as the nation's top receiver in college football. And the former Toledo Rocket is having a terrific year for the Pirates. He has 43 catches, a 13.1 yard average, and 2 touchdowns. And C.J. Johnson continues to thrive at that inside receiver spot. He has 25 total catches entering the game this weekend. Keaton Mitchell is back. We understand that he's running a little bit better. Now, he played, of course, last week at Tulane. I don't know where you would put Keaton percentage-wise in the game with Tulane. He was not quite his normal self, but I think he's going to be, if not his normal self on for the game on Saturday, he's going to be close to it because he's continued to improve physically this week in practice. And if the Pirates can get their home run hitter out there and get the ball to him more times than they did last week, that is going to be good. Marlon Gunn, a little bit shaken up last week, is scheduled to get a number of carries this week. He'll be ready to go. Rajay Harris had his surgery on Thursday. Everything went well, and now the real hard work starts for Rajay with the rehabilitation. And the hope is, and really the expectation is, that Rajay will be back first week of August next year, ready to go for fall camp. So that is the good news. And the good news this weekend would be a Pirate victory. Boy, they need it. Need it to keep this season going. They're 3-3, 1-2 in league play. A win this week with the Tigers in town would be good and would be big for Mike Houston and his football program. So let's see if the Pirates can get it done against a talented Memphis team. We'll be on the air on Saturday with our show here on Pirate Radio. I will join Clip Rock at 3:30 for coverage on Saturday as we get ready for another Pirate football weekend. Isn't it amazing how quickly they go? We start the second half of the season this weekend for Pirate football. Thanks so much for being with us. As always, we give a big thank you to Don Edwards and UBE, our gracious hosts, 35th year Pirate Preview shows. And we appreciate Don so much and his staff. Thanks to Chad Thompson for dropping by and pinch hitting for Don today. Always my thanks to Shirley Rhodes and to Clip Rock for their technical expertise as well. Kickoff time, 7:30 on Saturday. We'll see you at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, Bagwell Field. Have a great weekend, everybody.